On average, homeless people die at the age of 47. People sleeping rough on the streets are almost 17 times more likely to have been victims of violence. Myself and my fellow students have created this documentary to raise awareness about the homelessness situation in Hastings and see what the community is doing to help. We wanted to find out more about the housing issue in Hastings, so we decided to get in contact with the Hastings Borough Council to arrange a meeting with the head of housing, Joe Powell. Thankfully, he allowed us to interview him about the matter.
My name's Joe Powell, I'm the Housing Needs Manager at Hastings Borough Council, so I manage the Homeless Department and also social housing allocations.
Why did you choose to work for this department?
Well, actually I started working with people with mental health issues when I was younger, in my 20s, and progressed from there into working as a support worker for people who are homeless or at risk of homelessness.
How do you think that's affected you, like working in this sort of environment?
Affected me professionally, it's broadened my range of experience, I suppose. It's put me in touch with a broader group of people than I would have otherwise been exposed to, I guess.
Do the homeless people you help want to be helped?
What I think is 100% of people want to be helped. Some people struggle with having a sufficient level of self-worth to feel they deserve it. So whatever you do, and it is true that the outcome of that is that you provide people with the option of a house, the option of drug and alcohol treatment, the option of a mental health assessment, and they repeatedly refuse it. And it frustrates people.
After our interview with Joe Powell, Bexhill College were lucky enough to arrange an interview with Amber Rudd, the Home Secretary of Hastings.
We've made a commitment to build 300,000 a year by 2020. That is a big ask, but we've got a new sort of housing programme to try and deliver on that.
They have been given £700,000 million from central government to tackle the issue. They have also been helping to give homeless people more access to benefits, housing and jobs. Amber Rudd is working with the local council and its leader to tackle the problem together. We decided to travel to Hastings town to see what the public's opinion on the homeless situation in Hastings is. How do you think homelessness has affected Hastings?
We've always had them. That's the point.
Really?
Yeah, we've always had homeless people here, haven't we? Yeah. Not just from Hastings, we send them down from London, down from everywhere else.
Yeah.
And Brighton. And Brighton, down from London.
Do you think Hastings is doing enough for homeless people?
Not really, no. I don't think any city's doing enough for them. If they're truly homeless, and you really have got to take truly homeless to the ones who are just fucking about and actually pretending to be. You really have got to go through them because they're making it worse for the actual proper homeless.
How do you think homelessness has affected Hastings?
You get lots of parks and open spaces filled up with tents now, and you get in the tents you get needles with drug abuse, empty bottles scattered around the place, alcohol abuse. Just pitiful to see so many homeless people sleeping out in the winter, even though there are places like Snowflake where they can sort of find a place to stay.
Yeah.
But you get them sleeping, you get them camping on the beach, and these are mostly young men, and it's with a whole life in front of them,
Yeah.
and it's just terrible to see.
So do you think this makes people view Hastings differently?
Well, look, it's not going to attract your day tourist. No tourist wants to see that.
Do you think Hastings is doing enough for homeless people?
I think it does quite a lot. I think there are other places like Brighton and some boroughs in London that provide more shelter and more facilities for homeless people. but Hastings do pretty good considering it's a small town.
Yeah. Why do you think there's so many homeless people in Hastings?
I think it's a combination of people down on their luck. I've heard quite a few of them end up probably having some sort of difficulty to look after themselves, and some I've been informed that have drug issues and then fall on hard times and can't get themselves out of it. I believe there was a princess that came to Hastings at one point and they tried to shepherd them out of sight. Instead of trying to help them, they just tried to hide them.
Would you go into a shop if you saw a homeless person hanging out at the shop?
Yeah, I don't see a problem with that.
Would you provide a room for a homeless person for a night?
That kind of depends. I'd kind of like to know them a bit more, make sure, because obviously I'm letting them into my home.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd like to get to know them first and feel comfortable and make sure they feel comfortable as well.
Okay. Do you give money to the homeless?
Occasionally, but I don't actively go out and do it. I won't drop money into like when they're sitting on the sidewalk with a hat, because I don't know that actually what they do with that.
Mm-hmm.
I do occasionally give money to companies or groups that go out to help them.
Overall, our experience in Hastings was educational, emotional and overwhelming. Learning about the homeless situation in Hastings really opened our eyes on the matter and how many people in Hastings are homeless due to the lack of housing, mental health issues and drug and alcohol abuse. These are just some of the few reasons why homelessness in Hastings is so common. From myself and the group, we hope this documentary has widened your insight on the homeless situation and has changed your perspective on this recurring issue.